Before we dive in, please subscribe.
The cold expanse of space lay vast and uncharted beyond the cockpit window of the Pioneer, humanity's frontier research vessel. John Carter, a grizzled engineer with a knack for improvisation, stood beside his colleague, Dr. Alex Freeman, a brilliant physicist. Together, they examined the scans of a mysterious alien structure that had appeared on their radar. "Look at these readings, John. This isn't just another rock floating through space. It's emitting some kind of energy signature that's off the charts," Alex remarked, his voice a mixture of excitement and disbelief. John leaned in closer, squinting at the data on the screen. "That's no natural phenomenon, Alex. It's clearly artificial. Could be a station or, who knows, a ship maybe. Anything this far out from Earth is a big deal." Alex nodded, tapping commands into the console. "We're approaching the coordinates. I'll start the landing sequence." The Pioneer shuddered gently as it maneuvered closer to the alien outpost. The structure, massive and looming, was built with a technology that was unfamiliar yet strangely elegant. Its surfaces were smooth, adorned with geometric patterns that glowed faintly against the backdrop of space. As the ship docked, Captain Lisa Zheng joined them on the bridge. "Gentlemen, what do we have here?" Alex briefed her quickly. "It's an alien outpost, Captain. Seems abandoned, but it's intact. This could be the discovery of the century." Lisa's eyes gleamed with the prospect. "Prepare an away team. We're going in. John, gear up. You're with me. Alex, monitor from here and keep the ship ready for a quick departure if needed." Minutes later, John and Lisa, suited in their extravehicular gear, floated through the zero-gravity corridor of the alien station. Their lights pierced the darkness, revealing more of the intricate alien craftsmanship. "This architecture is unlike anything we've encountered before," Lisa observed, her voice echoing in John's helmet. John nodded, running his glove over the smooth metal-like material. "And it's still intact. Whatever this place was, it looks like it was deserted in a hurry. Let's find the control room or whatever passes for it." They navigated through the labyrinthine corridors, finally arriving at a large chamber filled with alien technology. At the center, a holographic map of unknown star systems hovered in the air, still active. John whistled low. "Would you look at that? It's a star map. We could learn a lot from this, Lisa." Lisa approached the controls, her fingers hesitating over the alien symbols. "Let's see if we can interface our tech with theirs. Can you rig something up, John?" John pulled a device from his belt, a universal connector he had modified himself for situations just like this. "Let's give this a shot." He attached the device to the panel, and after a tense moment, the map expanded, revealing even more data. Back on the Pioneer, Alex watched with bated breath as new readings streamed in. "You guys are going to want to see this. According to this data, we might be sitting on an ancient warship blueprint." Lisa exchanged a look with John. "Did he just say warship?" John grinned beneath his helmet. "Looks like we just hit the jackpot, Captain." As they downloaded the data, the realization of what they had discovered began to dawn on them. This was not just a map, it was a legacy of an advanced civilization, now in the hands of humanity. "Let's get this information back to Earth," Lisa said decisively. "This could change everything." With a new purpose, they made their way back to their ship, the weight of their discovery pressing on them. Whatever lay ahead, it was now their mission to unlock the secrets of the alien outpost, secrets that could, for better or worse, alter the course of human history. The mood aboard the Pioneer had shifted palpably. The alien outpost's data, with its promise of revolutionary technology and warship designs, had become the team's sole focus. John Carter and Dr. Alex Freeman worked alongside a newly formed team of engineers and scientists in the ship's main lab, buzzing with activity and the hum of machinery. "All right, team. Let's keep our eyes on the prize," John said, clapping his hands together as he addressed the group. "We've got something unprecedented here, and it's our job to figure it out piece by piece. We need to understand this technology before we even think about building anything." Alex adjusted the large holographic display at the center of the room, which now showed the intricate blueprints they had downloaded from the alien control panel. "The structural integrity of this design is unlike anything we've encountered. The materials, the energy systems, it's all groundbreaking. But how do we replicate something we barely understand?" That's when Gina Torres, a materials scientist, chimed in. "I've been analyzing the scans of the outpost's hull. It's composed of an alloy unknown to us, but I think we can approximate its properties with a combination of graphene and newly synthesized metamaterials." John nodded, intrigued. "Good start, Gina. Let's prototype some samples and see how they hold up under stress tests. As the team divided tasks, Captain Lisa Zheng approached with news from Earth. HQ is thrilled with our findings but wants us to accelerate our efforts. They're eager to see a working prototype of the warship's primary engine system. John sighed, running a hand through his hair. That's easier said than done, but we've got the best minds on it. He turned to a young engineer, Marcus Lee, who had been working quietly in the corner on the energy schematics. Marcus, you've been quiet. What's your take on the propulsion technology? Marcus looked up, his eyes bright with a mix of exhaustion and excitement. It's fascinating. The outpost's warship used a form of propulsion that seems to manipulate gravitational fields directly. I think I can build a small-scale model using our current ion drive as a base. It won't be the real deal, but it might just give us enough insight to understand the mechanics. Proceed with that, Marcus. Every bit of understanding helps, John encouraged, knowing well the challenges of pioneering uncharted technological territories. Over the next few weeks, the Pioneers' labs turned into a frenetic workshop of trials and errors. The team worked around the clock, synthesizing new materials, configuring alien technologies with human interfaces, and running countless simulations. One afternoon, as John and Lisa reviewed the progress reports, a cheer erupted from the propulsion lab. They exchanged a glance and hurried over. Inside, Marcus and his team were gathered around a small humming device that levitated off the ground, stable and controlled. "It works, John! It's actually working!" Marcus exclaimed, a wide grin spreading across his face. Lisa let out a relieved laugh. "This is it, then? We're on our way to building our first warship based on alien technology. This is just the beginning." John watched the device with a mix of pride and awe. "Let's keep pushing, team. This is more than just engineering. It's making history." The success reinvigorated the entire crew. There was a sense that they were no longer just explorers or engineers. They were the bridge to a new chapter in human capability, possibly on the cusp of a new era of interstellar capability. With each successful test and prototype, the blueprint of the alien warship began to take shape in a form that humanity could understand and replicate. The task was daunting, but the Pioneer crew was driven by the potential of their groundbreaking work, knowing well that the eyes of Earth, and possibly other watchful entities in the galaxy, were upon them. Aboard the Pioneer, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation as the team prepared to test the full-scale model of the propulsion system they had developed from the alien blueprints. John Carter watched as his team made the final adjustments, aware that this test could define the future of humanity's place in the cosmos. "Everything's set, John," Marcus reported, checking the readouts one last time. "We're ready to initiate the test sequence as soon as you give the go-ahead." John nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. "Do it. Let's see if we've really cracked their technology." As the engine hummed to life, a surge of energy rippled through the ship. The Pioneer shook slightly, a testament to the power they were attempting to harness. Then abruptly the alarms blared. "Energy spike from the engine room." Alex's voice came through the intercom, tense and alert. "We're detecting an unknown signal being broadcast into space. It's massive." John and Lisa exchanged a quick look of concern. "Shut it down, Marcus. Now," John ordered, but it was too late. The signal had been sent, piercing through the cosmos at the speed of light. Within hours, the response came, not from Earth, but from the depths of space. A fleet of sleek, metallic ships appeared on the Pioneer's radar, closing in rapidly. They were unlike any design humans had crafted or encountered in their probes and explorations. "Unknown vessels incoming," Lisa stated, staring at the screen. "They're hailing us." On the bridge, John, Lisa, and Alex gathered as the alien communication channel opened. The screen flickered and then stabilized to reveal a being with a sharp, angular face and deep, resonant eyes. It spoke in a surprisingly smooth tone, translated almost instantaneously by the ship's AI. "I am Commander Terelv of the Zentari. You have activated an ancient boundary marker of our empire. Explain your presence and your actions or face immediate reprisal." John stepped forward, his voice calm. "Commander Terelv, we are explorers from Earth. We found the station abandoned and were unaware of its significance. We meant no trespass or harm." Terelv's eyes narrowed slightly. "Your ignorance does not excuse your actions. The technology you have tampered with is not meant for primitive species. You will cease all use of it and prepare to surrender your data." Lisa intervened, her tone diplomatic yet firm. "Commander, surely there can be an understanding. We have much to learn from each other. Perhaps there's a way to cooperate rather than confront." The alien commander considered this for a moment, then replied, "I will consult with my superiors. Do not attempt to flee or continue your experiments. We will be watching." The screen went dark. The threat hung heavily in the air. John turned to his crew, determination in his eyes. "We need to prepare. Whether this goes the way of diplomacy or conflict, we can't be caught off guard." The Pioneer's crew sprang into action, securing the ship and analyzing the data they had on the Zentari ships. They enhanced their defenses, prepared contingency plans, and waited for the Zentari's next move. Meanwhile, Alex worked fervently to gather more information about the Zentari from the ancient databases in the outpost. "There's history here," he mused aloud. "The Zentari were once a vast empire, known for their strict territorial laws. We've stumbled into something bigger than we thought." As the Pioneer stood by, the tension was palpable. Every crew member felt the strain of the impending decisions that would shape their fate, and perhaps that of humanity itself. The waiting was the hardest part, knowing that the vast universe had suddenly become much smaller and far more dangerous. The tension aboard the Pioneer had reached a breaking point. Hours turned into days as they awaited the Zentari's response. The crew was on high alert, with every sensor and scanner monitoring space for any sign of movement or aggression. John Carter spent long hours strategizing with Captain Lisa Zheng, preparing for every conceivable scenario. "John, if they come back with hostile intentions, are we ready?" Lisa asked, her eyes scanning the latest defense updates. John sighed, his face drawn with fatigue and stress. "We've done everything we can to prepare. The ship's defenses are as strong as they can be without actual combat testing. We'll have to rely on our wits as much as our weapons." Their conversation was abruptly cut short by a sudden alert from the radar technician. "Multiple incoming contacts. It's the Zentari and they're armed." On the bridge, the view screens lit up with the approaching Zentari fleet. Sleek, aggressive vessels, bristling with weaponry, moved into an attack formation around the Pioneer. Commander Terrell appeared on the communication screen, his expression stern. "Human vessel, you have not complied with our demands. Prepare to be boarded and your data confiscated. Any resistance will be met with force." Lisa responded immediately, her voice steady. "We have no intention of aggression, but we will defend ourselves. We can still resolve this peacefully." Terrell's reply was cut off as the first volleys of energy weapons fired from the Zentari ships, striking the Pioneer's shields with a force that shook the entire vessel. The battle had begun. "Battle stations, return fire!" Lisa commanded. The ship's weapon systems, adapted from the alien technology, responded with surprising effectiveness, their energy beams cutting through the void towards the Zentari ships. John coordinated the defense from the engineering deck, rerouting power to shields and weapons as needed. "Keep those shields up. Marcus, how's our propulsion? I need maneuverability." Marcus, stationed at the propulsion controls, worked feverishly. "We're at 80% capacity, John. I can boost it for short bursts, but it'll put a strain on the grid." "Do it. We need every advantage we can get," John replied as another barrage rocked the ship. The Pioneer weaved through the Zentari fire, its advanced engines allowing for nimble movements that surprised their attackers. Meanwhile, Alex and Gina worked to deploy a series of experimental drones they had been developing. These drones, equipped with light armament and sensors, provided additional distractions and intel on the enemy's tactics. As the battle intensified, John noticed a pattern in the Zentari attack formations. "Lisa, I think I see a weakness. Their left flank drops shields momentarily when they cycle weapons. If we concentrate fire there, we might break through." Lisa nodded, directing the tactical team to adjust their targeting. "Focus all fire on my mark. Now!" The coordinated strike was more successful than they had hoped. A Zentari ship faltered, its shields failing under the concentrated energy blasts. Seizing the opportunity, the Pioneer delivered a decisive blow, disabling the enemy vessel. The unexpected loss threw the Zentari into disarray, giving the Pioneer a much-needed reprieve. Lisa seized the moment to address her crew, her voice resolute and clear over the comm. "We've shown them we're not easy prey. Prepare to repel boarders and keep our systems running. This isn't over, but I know we can do this. Stay sharp and look out for each other." As they braced for the next wave of the assault, John and his team felt a renewed sense of determination. They were no longer just defending the Pioneer, they were fighting for the future of humanity itself. The battle raged on, each moment critical, each decision potentially altering the course of this unexpected war. The void of space around the Pioneer was alive with the dance of battle as John Carter and his crew faced the onslaught of the Zentari fleet. With their initial surprise attack repelled, the Zentari regrouped for another assault, this time with even greater ferocity. On the bridge, Lisa Zhang coordinated the ship's defenses, her voice calm yet urgent. All sectors, report in, maintain firing patterns and keep our mobility high. We can't let them pin us down. John monitored the ship's systems from engineering, his hands moving deftly over the controls. Rerouting auxiliary power to shields. We've got to give the hull some breathing room. As the Zentari bore down on them, Marcus Lee's innovation with the propulsion system gave the Pioneer a significant edge. The ship darted through space with agility that belied its size, dodging the heavy fire that sizzled past its hull. "Nice flying, Marcus! Keep it unpredictable!" John shouted over the comm, his eyes on the fluctuating energy readings. Back on the tactical front, Alex Freeman analyzed the enemy's attack patterns from his station. "Lisa, I've detected a recurring delay in the Zentari's firing sequence. It's a small window, but it's consistent." Lisa seized on the information. "Time our counterattacks to that rhythm. Let's exploit every advantage." The Pioneer's gunners adjusted their timing, waiting for the gap in the Zentari barrage. As predicted, the delay came, and the human vessel unleashed a devastating return volley, disabling another Zentari ship. Cheers erupted from the crew, but the victory was short-lived. The Zentari, realizing their tactic had been deciphered, switched strategies, resorting to a more chaotic, less predictable firing pattern. Amidst the chaos, Gina Torres worked furiously on the defensive systems, implementing a dynamic shield modulation. It should help absorb some of the incoming fire and disperse the energy more efficiently. Her adjustments provided a momentary respite for the Pioneer, whose shields glowed a vibrant blue as they absorbed the next wave of attacks. Inspired by the resilience of their vessel, the crew's morale bolstered. John watched the energy readouts, impressed, yet wary. "Keep it up, Gina. Every bit of shield strength counts." As the battle raged, a distress call suddenly pierced through the commotion. It was from a nearby human mining colony, caught in the crossfire. Lisa's expression hardened. "We can't leave them defenseless. John, prep the rescue shuttles. We're going to need a quick extraction." John coordinated with the shuttle teams, setting a swift and risky rescue mission into motion. "You've got the green light, shuttle teams. Go!" The rescue shuttles darted from the Pioneer, weaving through the debris and blasts to reach the beleaguered colony. Meanwhile, Lisa directed the Pioneer to cover their approach, its guns blazing paths for the shuttles. The rescue operation was tense, with every second crucial. The shuttles made quick landings, hurriedly boarding the colonists amidst the chaos. Under the protective fire of the Pioneer, they made their escape, each shuttle filled with grateful civilians. With the colonists safe, the Pioneer resumed its defensive stance, now protecting not just its own crew, but also the lives of the rescued colonists. The stakes had been raised, and the determination of every crew member was palpable. As they continued to fend off the Zentari, the Pioneer slowly gained the upper hand through a combination of human ingenuity, bravery, and the advanced alien technology they had harnessed. With each passing moment, the crew of the Pioneer not only defended their lives, but also solidified their place as formidable warriors in the galactic arena. The battle in the void was far from over, but humanity had proven its mettle against a formidable foe. Following their grueling but victorious engagement with the Zentari fleet, morale aboard the Pioneer was higher than ever. Despite their successes, Captain Lisa Zhang and John Carter knew that the conflict with the Zentari was far from over. The Zentari had retreated, but their next move was uncertain. Humanity needed to prepare for more than just skirmishes. They needed a strategy for sustained defense and potential retaliation. In the aftermath of the battle, Lisa convened a strategic meeting with her senior officers and various experts aboard the Pioneer. "We've held them off for now, but we need to strengthen our position. It's time to think bigger," she declared. John agreed, adding, "The alien technology we've harnessed has given us an edge, but we need more than one ship to defend against a fleet. We should consider expanding our capabilities." The meeting quickly turned to the possibilities of mass production. Marcus Lee suggested, "With the data and experience gained from modifying the Pioneer, we can start developing a blueprint for a series of warships." Gina Torres, who had been instrumental in adapting the alien shield technology, chimed in, "We can enhance the designs with better armor and more efficient energy distribution. Let's not just replicate, let's innovate." Lisa nodded thoughtfully. "I'll communicate our plans to Earth Command. We'll need every resource available if we're going to build a fleet." With Lisa's leadership, A robust communication campaign was launched to rally support from Earth's governments and private sectors. The gravity of the situation, combined with the proof of alien hostility, spurred a wave of unity rarely seen among Earth's historically fractious political landscape. As Earth began its frenetic effort to build a defense fleet, John took charge of forming a new training program for the crew that would man these ships. Utilizing simulators based on their engagements with these Centauri, John's program was designed to prepare the next generation of officers and engineers to handle the advanced technology and the pressures of space combat. Meanwhile, Alex Freeman led a team focused on deciphering more of the alien database they had secured from the outpost. Every bit of data extracted helped refine their understanding of the alien technology and its potential applications. This effort not only improved their current tech, but also opened doors to new tactics and strategies. As weeks turned into months, the fruits of their labor began to materialize. Earth's first 3 warships, modeled after the Pioneer but each with unique modifications, were completed. Named the Guardian, Sentinel, and Vanguard, they were soon launched into the void, joining the Pioneer and forming the nucleus of humanity's new space defense fleet. John watched the new ships join formation from the bridge of the Pioneer. "It's a start," he said quietly to Lisa, who stood beside him, both of them looking out at the growing fleet. "It's more than that, John," Lisa responded, her voice firm with resolve. "It's a statement. We're not just surviving, we're ready to contend." As the newly formed fleet conducted drills and further integrated the alien technologies, reports came in of more Centauri activity at the border of the solar system. The message was clear. The conflict was not yet over, and the real test of humanity's resolve and capabilities was just on the horizon. But with their enhanced fleet and united front, humanity was in a far stronger position to face whatever threats emerged from the depths of space. As the newly minted human fleet, spearheaded by the Pioneer, patrolled the outer reaches of the solar system, reports of renewed Centauri activity began to trickle in. The alien fleet, larger and more formidable than before, was amassing at the edge of human-controlled space, their intentions undoubtedly hostile. Captain Lisa Zheng convened her top advisors and fleet commanders aboard the flagship Pioneer. The mood was tense. Everyone knew the gravity of the situation. "The Centauri haven't taken kindly to our expansion and technological advancements," Lisa began, her voice steady. "Their fleet is nearly twice the size of our encounter group. We must assume their intentions are not merely defensive." John Carter, now a veteran of these high-stakes meetings, added, "We've got better ships and better tech, but we're still outnumbered. Our tactics need to be sharp, and our responses precise." Marcus Lee, overseeing the fleet's propulsion and combat systems, highlighted their tactical advantages. "We've integrated the alien tech into our propulsion systems across the fleet. This gives us superior maneuverability, which we can use to our advantage in a skirmish." Gina Torres, who had been pivotal in enhancing the fleet's defensive capabilities, chimed in. "The new shielding systems have been holding up well in drills. They'll give us the edge we need to withstand their initial barrages, but sustained firefights could be problematic." With the strategy session ongoing, Alex Freeman continued his work on deciphering more data from the alien outpost. His latest breakthroughs had provided the fleet with advanced warning systems that were crucial in detecting the Centauri movements early. "We have a slight edge in electronic warfare," Alex reported via comlink. "I've managed to enhance our sensors to detect their cloaked ships. It won't give us long, but even a few seconds could make the difference." As preparations continued, the Centauri fleet made their first move, launching a series of probing attacks at the outer colonies to test the humans' defenses. Each skirmish was met with a calculated response from the human fleet, using their agility to evade heavier assaults and striking back with precision. The main confrontation occurred near Jupiter's orbit, where the Centauri launched a full-scale assault. The human fleet, now under Lisa's command, was spread in a defensive formation. The vastness of space around them buzzed with the energy of charged particle beams and the silent explosions of distant warfare. John directed the engineering teams to keep the ships running at peak efficiency. "Keep those engines hot, and shields at maximum. Let's show them what we've got." During the battle, a Centauri dreadnought managed to breach the outer defense line, heading straight for the Pioneer. The situation became critical as the massive ship unleashed a devastating barrage. Lisa made a quick decision. "All ships, focus fire on that dreadnought. Protect the Pioneer." The coordinated strike from multiple human warships overwhelmed the Centauri dreadnought, leading to its destruction, but not without cost. Several human ships were severely damaged, and casualties were reported. This victory, however, proved to be a turning point in the battle. Seeing their flagship destroyed, the morale of the Zentari forces wavered. Seizing the moment, Lisa ordered a full advance. "Push forward! Drive them back!" With renewed vigor, the human fleet pressed the attack, using their superior tactics and technology to slowly turn the tide. The Zentari, realizing they were losing, began a retreat back to their territory. As the last of the Zentari ships warped away, a cheer broke out across the human fleet. They had faced a significant threat and emerged victorious, but everyone on board knew this was likely only a reprieve. The Zentari would regroup and return, but for now, humanity had secured its place in the galaxy, not just as survivors, but as a formidable force in their own right. Following their hard-fought victory, the human fleet, led by Captain Lisa Jang on the Pioneer, regrouped and repaired, bracing for the Zentari's inevitable counterattack. The brief period of calm allowed the fleet to enhance their tactics and technology further, drawing on the lessons learned from their recent engagements. John Carter spearheaded an initiative to fortify the fleet's warships with improved armor and more efficient energy weapons. "We've seen what they're capable of," John addressed his engineering team. "It's time to step up our game. We need to be ready for anything they throw at us." The silence of the cold void was shattered when the Zentari returned, this time with a strategy that suggested desperation and determination. Their new fleet was vast, shadowing any force they had previously deployed. Their approach was not subtle, a direct charge to Earth, aiming to end the conflict once and for all. As the Zentari fleet advanced, a massive battle unfolded near Mars. The vast red planet served as the backdrop to one of the largest space battles in human history. The human fleet, although outnumbered, was better prepared and strategically positioned. Lisa Jang, calm and resolute, commanded from the bridge of the Pioneer. "This is it. Hold the line. Protect Earth at all costs." The Zentari barrage was relentless, but the human ships maneuvered with the agility their foes lacked, dodging and weaving through the deadly blasts. John coordinated the fleet's responses, prioritizing targets and directing fire. Marcus Lee's innovations allowed the human ships to exploit the Zentari's slower maneuvering. "Use the gravitational fields of Mars to your advantage," Marcus instructed the fleet. "Increase velocity for sudden directional changes and counterstrikes." Meanwhile, Gina Torres ensured that the defenses held. "Shields are holding, but keep an eye on the energy reserves," she warned the ship captains. The battle reached a fever pitch as a Zentari command ship made a daring move to break through the human line. Lisa spotted the gambit and made a split-second decision. "All units converge on that command ship. Cut the head off the snake." John and his team executed her orders flawlessly. The human ships formed a spearhead, piercing through the Zentari formation to reach their command ship. With a coordinated barrage of their most powerful weapons, the command ship was critically damaged. As the command ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, the Zentari fleet's formation broke. Without their leaders, confusion spread throughout their ranks. Sensing victory, Lisa pressed the advantage. "Push forward, drive them back, this ends today." One by one, the Zentari ships began to retreat, their will to fight crumbling. John watched the retreating ships, a mix of relief and exhaustion clear on his face. "We did it, Lisa. We actually did it." Lisa nodded, her eyes on the stars beyond the battlefield. "We did more than survive, John. We secured our future." In the aftermath, Earth celebrated the fleet's victory. Humanity had not only defended their home, but also asserted themselves as a significant power in the galaxy. The victory was not without cost, but it brought with it a new era of peace and a chance for recovery and renewal. As peace settled over the solar system, the Pioneer and its sister ships continued to patrol the space lanes, ever vigilant. John Carter, reflecting on the journey from discovery to victory, knew this peace was hard-earned. "Let's make sure we keep it this time," he said, his eyes fixed on the vast expanse of space that no longer seemed quite as threatening. With their newfound strength and unity, humanity looked forward, ready to face whatever challenges the galaxy held, with hope and determination lighting their way.